Hey, leaders and learners, Leonard Geddes here, founder of the LearnWell projects. We're going to continue along on our series on 21 Savage student learning tips. And today we're going to move forward talking about thinking, because school is a cognitive endeavor. And so students' thinking will determine their performance. So in this clip, I'm going to introduce you to the ThinkWell-LearnWell diagram, the tool hanging up behind me on the wall, which also should be hanging up on your wall. We're going to just briefly introduce you to this tool and share with you some ways that this tool can help solve the problem of bad thinking. So check it out, and I'll be back on the other end to sign you off. Academic work is cognitive work, and doing cognitive work requires metacognitive skills. Thinking is a most basic human function, but students often struggle to do it well in school. They spend their time studying and preparing for classes and exams, but far too often they don't perform as well as they expected. Why does bad thinking happen? In my forthcoming book, Transition Gaps and Traps, I share ways we can identify cognitive gaps and solve them before they trap students. Here's a clip of a tutor explaining how she recognized a cognitive gap that was limiting her tutee's performance and how she helped the student close the gap.
Last night I was tutoring for the Praxis, so it's like a teacher exam for people who don't know what I'm talking about. And the session was really engaging because I think anyway, because we started off with appealing to what we're most scared of for and what we're most excited about in the exam, and it kind of showed me what they already know and what they don't, because they would be excited about content they know versus they're scared for what they don't have. So then it gave me somewhere to go.
In that first clip, the tutor recognized that the student is uncomfortable with information she knows. Translation, information she has logged into her memory. However, the tutor recognizes that the forthcoming exam will require the student to use mental skills that go beyond recalling stored items. Let's listen to a bit more. So in other words, you were already down here with this question number 2, down here. What modes of thinking will you need on this content? Do you have an idea of the modes of thinking that the student you worked with would need to know?
Yeah, because I looked at previous exam questions and stuff, so I kind of looked at the verbs that they were using within the sentence questions to
What were they? What level of thinking was it?
There were some analyzing and evaluating, and there is a lot of applying.
Now this is exciting to me because the tutor is doing exactly what she was trained to do. She's looking beyond the content to the cognitive skills that dictate how well the student will ultimately learn the concepts. Bad thinking will always lead to bad outcomes, regardless of how much a student studies. The tutor's explicit linkages of the content, the cognition, and the concepts are sound metacognitive work. How did the tutor accomplish this? She used the ThinkWell-LearnWell diagram to shift the tutee's thinking. Specifically, she was able to shift the student from using a shallow way of thinking to a deeper level of interaction. And by engaging the student's deeper thinking skills, the student saw the information through new applying, analytical, and evaluative lenses. These new lenses are exactly what the Praxis will be assessing. This tutor's work extends far beyond study skills. On a philosophical level, the tutor is changing the student's mental representation skills. Because the student is using new thinking skills, her mind will represent the content she is studying much differently. So back to our original question. Why does bad thinking happen? Because students use the wrong thinking skills. But if we use tools like the ThinkWell-LearnWell diagram, we can help students avoid bad thinking and make high academic performance a certainty. In a short period of time, these tutors have learned essential metacognitive perspectives and practices that have not only made them better learners, but have also helped them serve their peers better as well, just as we planned. So here are 3 tips you can use to guide you as you put this diagram into practice. Tip number 1, use the ThinkWell-LearnWell diagram as a visual tool. Challenge students to use it each time they study for at least 30 days. Tip number 2, identify the gap between students' current level of thinking and their needed modes of thinking. In tip 3, listen and look for how the new skills change students' mental representation skills. So, put these skills into practice and join us in our next video where we'll get even more practical by showing how you can use this tool for specific assignments. Now, I hope you enjoyed that video. I love using animation to illustrate what goes on in students' mind as they engage in academic work. And hopefully in this video, you began to understand why bad thinking happens. In the next video, we're going to continue pressing forward, showing you very practical ways to use this tool, the ThinkWell-LearnWell diagram, to help students unravel some of the mysteries of academic work so that they can be better performers. So see you back next time. If you like this video, go ahead and like it. If you haven't already, subscribe. Also, make sure you leave a comment below so we can interact a little bit. And remember, as always, if students think well, they learn well, and they will perform well. See you next time. Thanks.